So today we'll discuss the topic reaction time. We will be discussing the theory of this topic and we'll also discuss the practical aspect of it. Or we'll understand what is reaction time. So reaction time is the SR time interval, that is the stimulus response time. The response cannot come out of the organism quite as soon as the stimulus goes in. What I mean to say is that when the person experiences any stimulus, he perceives the stimulus, and for few seconds or for milliseconds the response in the organism itself remains latent. Therefore, for this reason, reaction time is also known as response latency. Okay, so whenever any subject looks at a stimulus or perceives any stimulus, certain physiological reactions takes place in the organism's body, and accordingly the response is produced. What all physiological reactions happen? For example, the sense organ must be aroused to the activity, the nerves must conduct to the brain, and from brain to the muscle. Therefore, this all these activity take certain amount of time, and this time interval is known as SR time interval or reaction time. So reaction time is not just the response time, it involves all the time that is lapsed between the stimulus and the response to happen. So the reaction time is also known as response latency, as it includes the sense organ time, the brain time, the nerve time, and the muscle time to overtly produce any response. Okay, now next is speed is the measure of achievement and proficiency. uh, it means that speed of the subject tells how quickly he is responding to any particular stimulus. Then comes there is variation in reaction time of different stimulus belonging to different sense organ. This means that reaction time for one particular subject is not same in all situations. It can vary in different situations depending upon the sense modality involved. Okay, so there can be different reaction time for visual stimulus, as the sense organ involved is eyes, and there can be different reaction time for for hearing stimulus as ears are involved. Okay, so it depends upon the sense organ, it depends upon the sense modality which is involved. Next is measures of reaction time can be helpful for selection of people in jobs requiring speed and accuracy. Okay, so it is very important to understand what actually is the applicability of studying reaction time. So reaction time is very helpful in selection of correct personnel. So in different organization, we tend to select personnel for different tasks. For example, reaction time is assessed in technical services like pilot. Okay, so reaction time is very useful for hiring personnels for appropriate jobs. Okay, the historical contribution in terms of reaction time, I mean in the field of reaction time, who all have contributed. So the first one was Helmholtz. So Helmholtz was the pioneer when it comes to studying reaction time. Way back in 1850, he designed this entire experiment of reaction time. He actually assessed the nerve conduction time in frogs. Okay, then comes astronomer Hirsch of Switzerland, and he used Hips chronoscope. So we'll be discussing about Hips chronoscope in upcoming slides. He actually used this very chronoscope for measuring reaction time, and one thing is to be noted that he didn't use the term reaction time. What term he used? He used physiological time. So he was actually aiming at measuring reaction time, and he also followed the entire process and the procedure, but the terminology which he used was physiological time. So he measured the physiological time of eyes, ears, and sense of touch. Next comes the Dutch physicist Donders. So Donders in 1868, he also studied reaction time, but he has contributed a lot in the field of disjunctive reaction time. So disjunctive reaction time is, when the person is required to make a discrimination and choice. So he focused on disjunctive reaction time experiment, and he found that reaction time was about 100 milliseconds larger as compared to simple reaction time. So what exactly is the difference between simple reaction time and disjunctive reaction time, we would be discussing in upcoming slides. But here we can just understand that who are the pioneers who contributed in the study of reaction time. Next one is Exner. Exner made a very important contribution in the field of reaction time. In 1873, he talked about the importance of preparatory set. So, what are the perspective, what is the preparatory set of the subject which actually affects the reaction time of the subject. He was the one who gave the term reaction time again. So these are all the important viva questions which can be asked in viva. So there can be a question who used the term reaction time, the first one, right? So what would be the answer? It would be Exner. Okay. Fixtures of reaction time apparatus. The reaction time apparatus is popularly known as chronoscope. So chronoscope, as the term suggests, chrono means time and scope, any I mean it means any device that measures something. Okay, so chronoscope is the device through which you can actually measure time. So the left one, the yellow picture, it is the reaction time apparatus electric. So this is the electronical one, electric one, and on the right hand side it is the reaction time pendulum apparatus. It is operated manually. I mean, there are two pendulums. One is the subject's pendulum and other one is the experimental's pendulum, and both the pendulums are associated with two key, which are also known as switch. So one is the experimental's key, the other one is the subject's key. The subject's pendulum is linked with the subject's key, and experimental's pendulum is linked with the experimental's key. Okay. Discussing types of reaction time. So first is simple reaction time. Simple reaction time is pretty simple. That is, it is simple in presenting uniform stimulus and requires a uniform response. There are no alternatives to complicate observer's task. The experimenter knows in advance what stimulus will come and what response will the subject give. For example, when light flashes, press the key. Okay, so simple reaction time means that there is one uniform stimulus which is to be presented in all the trials. Okay, let's say you instruct your subject that when you see a red light on the board, press the key. Okay, so this is pretty simple in all the situations, in all the trials, in all 10, 20, 30 trials, whatever you have planned. In all those trials, you would be showing him red light and he will press the key. Okay, so in all the trials, red light, so therefore it means that the stimulus is uniform, it is not changing. And again, the response that the subject has to give is pressing the key. So again, it is also not changing, the response is also uniform. Okay, so there are no other ways of complicating the observer's task. Therefore it is simple reaction time. Okay. Disjunctive reaction time or the choice reaction time. We have already studied about the simple reaction time, and now we'll be discussing the disjunctive reaction time. So, in this type of reaction time, different stimuli call for different responses. That means अलग अलग stimulus है हमारे पास और अलग अलग stimulus के लिए we have different responses. Okay. Let's say the stimulus light may vary from red to green in irregular order. There are two response keys, one for each hand. Let's say there's in our experiment, if we are aiming at measuring disjunctive reaction time, how we will proceed, we can say that you would be seeing red or green light. Okay, we'll instruct to the subject that you would be seeing red or green light. So ये किस ऑर्डर में हम प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं, कोई भी ऑर्डर में नहीं प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं. देयर इज हैफेजर्ड प्रेजेंटेशन, एक रैंडम प्रेजेंटेशन है, कभी रेड कभी ग्रीन कभी फिर से ग्रीन. सो एक हैफेजर्ड प्रेजेंटेशन है. बट हमने इंस्ट्रक्शन सब्जेक्ट को क्या दिए हुए हैं, that whenever you see red light, press the key with your right hand, and whenever you see your green light on board, press the key with left hand. Okay, so in such type of reaction time experiment, we have complicated the subjects टास्क. कॉम्प्लिकेट कैसे कर दिया है कि नाउ ही हैज टू बी एक्स्ट्रा विजिलेंट कि जब ग्रीन लाइट दिख रही है तो मुझे लेफ्ट हैंड से प्रेस करना है, कि जब रेड लाइट आ रही है तो मुझे राइट हैंड से की प्रेस करना है. Okay, so next is this choice reaction time has longer latency and simple reaction than the simple reaction time has longer latency. इसका क्या मतलब हुआ? Because obviously उसे ज़्यादा vigilant रहना होगा, ज़्यादा information process करनी होगी. Okay, he has to be extra cautious. Therefore, the reaction time would be greater as compared to simple reaction time because वहाँ पे उसे differentiate नहीं करना है. Simple reaction time, as I have already told you, is very very simple. There is one uniform स्टिमुलस. तो हम अगर रेड लाइट दिखा रहे हैं तो हम सारी ट्रायल्स में रेड ही लाइट दिखाएंगे अगर हम सिंपल रिएक्शन टाइम असेस कर रहे हैं. लेकिन अगर हम डिसजंक्टिव रिएक्शन टाइम असेस कर रहे हैं तो हम क्या करेंगे, कभी रेड कभी ग्रीन. सो देयर वुड बी सर्टेन ऑल्टरनेटिव्स फॉर stimulus. So there are certain alternatives for stimulus, then there would be alternatives for response also. ऑल्टरनेटिव फॉर रिस्पॉन्स कैसे हुआ, क्योंकि हमने उससे क्या कहा है कि अगर रेड लाइट आप देख रहे हो तो आपको कैसे की प्रेस करनी है, राइट हैंड से करनी है. जब आपको ग्रीन लाइट आ रही है तो आपको कैसे की प्रेस करनी है, लेफ्ट हैंड से प्रेस करनी है. देयरफॉर द टास्क हैज बिकम मोर कॉम्प्लेक्स, मोर कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. देयरफॉर स्टडीज हैव शोन दैट डिसजंक्टिव रिएक्शन टाइम is 100 millisecond longer as compared to simple reaction time. Okay. Now we'll study the two main types of disjunctive reaction time. Disjunctive reaction time क्या है वो हम पहले पढ़ चुके हैं. That there are alternative stimulus and different responses are to be given to different stimulus. Okay, so as you all know that the pioneer in the field of disjunctive reaction time was Donders. So Donders has given certain terminologies. He says that B reaction time and C reaction time and A reaction time. So ये तीन क्लासिफिकेशन क्या है. ए रिएक्शन टाइम इज द ऑर्डिनरी सिंपल रिएक्शन टाइम, जो हम सिंपल रिएक्शन टाइम पढ़ते हैं, दैट इज known as A reaction time as per Donders. Next is B reaction time. So B reaction is react to red light with right hand to blue with left hand. Okay, तो जब सब्जेक्ट को रेड लाइट दिख रही है बोर्ड पे, उसको अपने राइट हैंड से की प्रेस करना है, और जो ब्लू लाइट दिख रही है तो लेफ्ट हैंड से प्रेस करना है. नेक्स्ट इज सी रिएक्शन. सी रिएक्शन इज रिएक्ट टू रेड लाइट. रेड लाइट जैसे ही बोर्ड पे दिख रही है उसे रिएक्ट करना है. कैसे रिएक्ट करना है, उसको अपनी की प्रेस करनी है. और जब ब्लू लाइट दिख रही है तो उसे कोई भी की प्रेस नहीं करनी है. डू नॉट रिएक्ट टू ब्लू लाइट. दिस इज दी सी रिएक्शन. Studies also show that disjunctive reaction time takes more time than the simple reaction time, from 2 to 200 milliseconds, with the B reaction time running a little slower than the C. Okay, so B reaction time C reaction time के comparative में थोड़ा कम होता है. Okay. There are certain older forms of chronoscope. The first is Hep's chronoscope and the other one is John Hopkins chronoscope. So these are older forms of chronoscope. So these chronoscopes are not used in these days. So these are not the modern ones, but they are obviously the pioneer ones. In historical perspective, we have already studied a little bit about Hep's chronoscope and John Hopkins chronoscope. So Hep's chronoscope. The early work in reaction time was made possible by the invention of Hep's chronoscope, which was capable of measuring reaction time in units of 1 millisecond. So हम जो भी reaction time इसमें assess करते थे उसका unit क्या होता था, 1 millisecond होता था. And in older literature, millisecond को कैसे denote किया गया है, sigma से. So 1 sigma means 1 millisecond. विद एन एरर कंसिडरेबली बिलो 1%. तो जो भी इसमें एरर आ पाती थी इस क्रोनोस्कोप में वो कितनी होती थी, लगभग इट वाज अप्रोक्सीमेटली बिलो 1%. It consisted of two basic parts. So दो basic parts, इसका एक clockwork mechanism होता था और एक इसमें कुछ gears लगे होते थे. So it is a very older oldest rather the oldest form of chronoscope. It was possibly the first chronoscope to be invented. And the other one is John Hopkins chronoscope. So this was also, in historical perspective, we have studied about John Hopkins chronoscope. So कुछ कभी कभी होता क्या है कि वाइवा में it can be asked कि जो आप मॉडर्न क्रोनोस्कोप यूज कर रहे हो उसके अलावा आपको और कोई क्रोनोस्कोप के बारे में पता है. So obviously you can say that yes, Hep's chronoscope is there, John Hopkins chronoscope is there. Okay. So now we'll study the errors in chronoscope. Like most measuring devices, they are subject to two types of constant errors. Okay, so one thing you should note that these are certain constant errors and there is nothing to measure in these errors. अभी हम आगे भी पढ़ेंगे जब हम अपना experiment पढ़ेंगे. So if you remember, we also did an experiment known as molar error illusion. उसमें भी हम कुछ errors निकालते हैं, उसमें हम errors calculate करते हैं, movement error, space error, constant error. Okay. लेकिन यहाँ पे जो हम एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहे हैं इसमें कुछ एज सच कैलकुलेशन वाली एरर्स नहीं है, वो इसलिए नहीं है बिकॉज दीज टू एरर्स आर बाय डिफॉल्ट इन द apparatus itself. Okay, so first is a terminal error, that is the result of lag in starting or overshoot in stopping. So lag in starting की सब्जेक्ट ने की प्रेस करी लेकिन स्ट्रिंग नहीं रिलीज हुई और पेंडुलम मूव नहीं किया, दैट इज लैग इन स्टार्टिंग, ओवरशूट इन स्टॉपिंग कि एक बार स्ट्रिंग रिलीज हो गई है तो पेंडुलम स्टॉप नहीं हो रहा है. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दीज सर्टेन टेक्निकलिटीज जो भी एरर आ रही है दैट इज द टर्मिनल एरर. Okay, next is running error, the result of faulty speed of the running mechanism. तो कभी कभी क्या होता है when the pendulum is oscillating, so उसकी कुछ faulty speed हो जाती है. So this is running error. So these are relative and may be expressed as percentage of the interval measured. तो इसको अगर हमें express करना है तो कुछ हम इसके percentage के form में निकाल सकते हैं. हालांकि हम अपने इस particular reaction time के experiment में errors calculate नहीं करते हैं. दिस टाइप ऑफ एरर इज नेग्लिजिबल. क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं भाई? बिकॉज इट इज वेरी वेरी नेग्लिजिबल. इसको कैलकुलेट करने का कोई मतलब नहीं होता है. नेग्लिजिबल इन synchronous motors as those used in Springfield timers unless the device is obviously not working properly. Okay, so इसको कैलकुलेट करने का कोई मतलब नहीं है बिकॉज बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा मिनिस्क्यूल, माइन्यूट या नेग्लिजिबल होती है. अगर बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ हाई एरर आ रही है तो दैट मीन्स there is something very serious problem in the apparatus itself. Okay, now we'll discuss the factors that affect reaction time. So when we study factors, we can classify all the factors in two categories. One is the factors related to stimulus, and other category is the factors related to organism himself. Okay, so when it comes to factors related to stimulus, it means that these are the stimulus variable or stimulus factors which affect the reaction time. For example, it can be length of the stimulus, it can be the stimulus modality which is being aroused, it can be the strength or magnitude of the stimulus. So these are the stimulus variables. So why they are known as stimulus variable? Because they are the external variables which to an extent can be controlled by the experimenter. Okay, but on the other hand, there is another group of factors, that is the factors related to organism. These are the factors which are intrinsic in an organism and it cannot be very precisely controlled by the experimenter. For example, motivation or preparatory set of the individual. Okay, so now first is the factors of related to stimulus that affect the reaction time. So first is length of the reaction, length of the stimulus कितना बड़ा है और उसकी intensity कितनी है. Right, there is another thing, that is reaction time depends upon the strength of the stimulus. कितना ज़्यादा उसकी strength है या कितना ज़्यादा वो strong है. So reaction time is long when the stimulus is very weak. तो अगर बहुत weak है या बहुत ही ज़्यादा लाइट का अगर स्टिमुलस है तो बहुत हल्की सी डिम लाइट है तो बहुत ज़्यादा दिक्कत होगी सब्जेक्ट को प्रोसेस करने में स्टिमुलस को. देयरफॉर ज़्यादा दिक्कत होगी तो ज़्यादा प्रोसेसिंग टाइम होगा तो अगेन द लॉन्गर टाइम वुड बी लैप्स. सो ऑब्वियसली रिएक्शन टाइम इंक्रीज हो जाएगा, रिएक्शन टाइम वुड बी लॉन्गर इफ द स्टिमुलस इज वीक. Okay, but if the stimulus is very very strong, so obviously there would be quick reaction time. Okay, the response would be quick and there would be shorter reaction time. Another thing is which sort of sense modality is being aroused. So as I have already told you कि अलग अलग और अलग अलग सेंस ऑर्गन के लिए अलग अलग रिएक्शन टाइम हो सकता है. So Hirsch classified has given values for different sense modalities. He says that for touch, the average reaction time can be 140 millisecond, and when he calculated for light, it was around 180 millisecond. So obviously, this can be experienced also. अगर हम टच की बात करें सो आवर स्किन इज वेरी वेरी सेंसिटिव टू टच, तो हमें बहुत जल्दी टच की सेंसिटिविटी का एक्सपीरियंस होता है. सो उसका रिएक्शन टाइम कम है एज कम्पेयर टू लाइट, दैट इज एट कम्पेयर टू विजुअल स्टिमुलस. सो इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन विच सॉर्ट ऑफ सेंस ऑर्गन इज बीइंग stimulated. Okay, next is taste stimuli. Again, taste की बात हो रही है, so taste is also one of the sense organ, so it depends upon the location of the taste bud. So studies reveal that when the food is very acidic or sour in nature, so reaction time is less as compared to bitter when the taste, I mean when the taste of any particular food item is bitter. Next is pain stimulus. Again, this is related to touch stimulus. So all the stimulus which inflict pain are associated with two kind of response: touch as well as pain sensitivity, and it depends upon the conduction of nerve in the nervous system. Next classification is the factors which affect reaction time, and all the factors which are related to the organism himself. So for example, motivation, कि subject कितना ज़्यादा motivated है इस particular experiment को करने के लिए. So this factor itself will affect the reaction time of the subject. Okay, next is the preparatory set. Applications of studying reaction time. Reaction time can be used in the study of motivation, distraction, and discrimination. Okay, so all these are higher order cognitive processes. So discriminate करना है हमें different stimuluses के बीच में, या क्या distractions हैं, या motivation का study करना है. So in all those, study of reaction time becomes very important. Similarly, in psychophysics and other studies of perception, it is often useful to time the responses. Very important. हम psychophysics भी पढ़ते हैं, तो उसमें भी हमें response का time assess करना पड़ता है subject का. So reaction time is very useful in the study of psychophysics as well. Many problems in learning and memory can be attacked by this method. So obviously learning and memory का जो हमने concept पढ़े हुए हैं, उसमें भी अगर हमें बहुत सारे problems होती हैं memory की, तो हम कैसे उसको भी हम अप्रोच कर सकते हैं बाय स्टडीइंग रिएक्शन टाइम. द ऑटोमोबिलिस्ट हु must put on the brakes quickly takes an average of 450 milliseconds. So again ये एक example दिया हुआ है that reaction time is, it has wide range of applicability. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर हमें कोई ऑटोमोबिलिस्ट है, कोई स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन है, कोई एथलीट है, ही हैज़ टू बी वेरी पर्टिकुलर अबाउट हिज रिएक्शन टाइम. अगैन कोई पायलट है, तो उसे एरोप्लेन चला रहा है वो, सो ही हैज़ टू बी वेरी स्पेसिफिक अबाउट द रिएक्शन टाइम. सिमिलरली अगर अगर फाइटर पायलट्स हैं, तो और भी ज़्यादा प्रिसाइज होना चाहिए हमारा रिएक्शन टाइम, बिकॉज हमें उसमें अगैन मिसाइल्स वगैरह करनी है, या अटैक वेपन्स से डील करना है. सिमिलरली अगर ट्रेन ड्राइवर्स की अगर हम बात करें, सो दीज आर सर्टन जॉब्स इन विच रिएक्शन टाइम इज वेरी important. There are application to athletics as in the start of a race or at the football play. Again, so these are the various fields in which reaction time becomes very important. Experiment of reaction time. So in the previous slide, we have already studied the theoretical aspect of reaction time, and now we'll proceed with the conduction part of this experiment. So the purpose is to measure the simple reaction time of the subject from light stimulus under natural sensorial and muscular condition. Okay, so this is the purpose. इसमें हमें क्या करना है कि हमें simple reaction time assess करना है subject का. Therefore, it is important कि हम यहाँ पे सिर्फ simple reaction time assess कर रहे हैं. We are not assessing disjunctive reaction time. और जब हम simple reaction time assess कर रहे हैं, तो किन conditions में कर रहे हैं? तीन condition में कर रहे हैं: natural, sensorial and muscular. Next comes the hypotheses. So there are two hypotheses. First is the reaction time will be less in muscular condition as compared to natural and sensorial. And the next one is that the reaction time will be less in sensorial condition as compared to natural condition. Okay, next is variables. So first is independent variable. Independent variable you all know, that is the stimulus variable. जिस भी variable को हमने manipulate किया है, तो कौन सी तीन conditions हैं हमारी? Natural, sensorial and muscular. So this becomes the independent variable. Next is the dependent variable. Dependent variable is the response variable, that is the reaction time. हम क्या assess कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे? Reaction time. So reaction time automatically becomes the dependent variable. Okay. Used. So we had used vernier chronoscope, paper, pencil. Okay, so that is the writing material. So So what apparatus we are using in this particular experiment, that is the Vernier chronoscope. So chronoscope आप पहले भी पढ़ चुके हैं, हिप्स chronoscope या जॉन हॉपकिंस chronoscope, but particularly in this experiment we are using Vernier chronoscope. Okay, be very specific about the apparatus that you all have used. Then comes the preliminary setup. The pendulums were adjusted on 77 swings per minute for the subject's pendulum and 75 swings per minute for the experimenter's pendulum with the help of the stopwatch. Yes, now Vernier chronoscope has two pendulums. So one is the subject's pendulum and the other one is the experimenter's pendulum. तो जो सब्जेक्ट का पेंडुलम होता है उसकी सेटिंग हम कैसे करते हैं, 77 स्विंग्स पर मिनट पे करते हैं. दैट मीन्स स्टॉप वॉच से हम उसको सेट करते हैं कि एक मिनट में इट शुड टेक 77 ऑसिलेशंस या स्विंग्स. सिमिलरली जो एक्सपेरिमेंटर्स पेंडुलम होता है उसकी सेटिंग हमने करी हुई है 75 swings per minute. That is 1 minute में it should take 75 oscillations. Okay, next comes the procedure. The subject was called and seated comfortably. A rapport was established during which his or her details were sought. Okay, so in the initial part, the rapport building was done. The experiment was done in three conditions, namely natural, sensorial, and muscular. So I have already told you that we will be conducting this experiment in three settings, that is natural, sensorial, and muscular. The different conditions were induced through instructions. Okay, so हमने जो भी मैनिपुलेशन करा है तीनों कंडीशंस में, वो हमने कैसे मैनिपुलेशन किया है, विद द हेल्प ऑफ आर इंस्ट्रक्शंस. दैट मीन्स तीनों कंडीशंस के जो भी वेरिएशंस आ रहे हैं, इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द वेरिएशंस दैट वी हैव पुट इन द इंस्ट्रक्शंस. जो हमने वेरीड इंस्ट्रक्शंस दिए हैं तीनों सेटिंग में, that is the manipulation that we have done. Okay, in the natural condition the subject was instructed as follows. नेचुरल कंडीशन में हमने क्या इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया है उसको, आई विल गिव यू अ रेडी सिग्नल, देयर आफ्टर यू विल सी अ लाइट ऑन द बोर्ड, प्रेस द की व्हेन यू सी द लाइट. ओके, सो नेचुरल में इट इज वेरी वेरी सिंपल कि हमने उससे सिर्फ कहा है कि बोर्ड पे आपको एक लाइट दिखेगी एंड यू आर सपोज टू पुट द की एज सून एज यू सी द लाइट ऑन द बोर्ड. तो जैसे ही आपको लाइट देखते हैं प्लीज प्रेस द की. ओके, the subject were noted in terms of number of oscillations of the subject's pendulum till it started oscillating with the experimenter's pendulum. Okay, so जो भी रिस्पॉन्स आया था सब्जेक्ट का वो हमने किसके टर्म्स में उसको नोट किया है अपने ऑब्जर्वेशन टेबल में, इट इज नोटेड इन टर्म्स ऑफ ऑसिलेशंस. किसके ऑसिलेशंस पे हमें फोकस, हमें ध्यान देना है, किसके ऑसिलेशंस को हमें काउंट करना है, सब्जेक्ट्स पेंडुलम. ओके, सो सब्जेक्ट के पेंडुलम कितनी बार ऑसिलेट कर रहा है, वी विल बी काउंटिंग ऑल दोज ऑसिलेशंस. और कब तक काउंट करना है, जब तक वो एक्सपेरिमेंटर्स पेंडुलम के साथ सिंक्रोनाइज ना हो जाए, जब तक इट स्टार्ट्स ऑसिलेटिंग इन यूनिसन विद द एक्सपेरिमेंटर्स पेंडुलम. ओके, इन दिस वे 20 ट्रायल्स वर टेकन. इस तरीके से हमने नेचुरल सेटिंग में कितने ट्रायल्स ले लिए, 20 ट्रायल्स. देयर आफ्टर ट्रायल्स फॉर द कंडीशन वर टेकन. इसके बाद हमने सेंसोरियल कंडीशंस के 20 ट्रायल्स लिए थे. व्हाट वर द इंस्ट्रक्शंस, आई विल गिव यू अ रेडी सिग्नल, देयर आफ्टर यू विल सी अ लाइट ऑन बोर्ड, फोकस focus your total attention on the light. As soon as you see the light, press the key. Okay, so यहाँ पे अगर आप ध्यान से देखें, so यहाँ पे the complete attention of the subject is on the light, is on the stimulus itself, कि पूरा focus उसका सिर्फ light पे है. Focus on the light, focus on the light. As soon as you see the light, press the key. Okay, अगेन इस सेटिंग में हमने कितनी ट्रायल्स ली थी, 20 ट्रायल्स ली थी. द प्रोसीजर वॉज सेम फॉर द नेचुरल कंडीशन. तो जैसे ही नेचुरल कंडीशन में हमने ऑसिलेशंस रिकॉर्ड किए थे, वैसे ही सेंसोरियल में भी हमने ऑसिलेशंस रिकॉर्ड किए थे. सब्जेक्ट्स पेंडुलम के ऑसिलेशन हमें काउंट करना है, तब तक काउंट करना है जब तक वो एक्सपेरिमेंटर्स पेंडुलम के साथ सिंक्रोनाइज ना हो जाए. ओके, द सेंसोरियल कंडीशन वॉज फॉलोड बाय द मस्कुलर कंडीशन. उसके बाद हमने हमारी लास्ट कंडीशन करी थी, दैट इज द मस्कुलर कंडीशन. And the instructions were, I will give you a ready signal, thereafter you will see a light on the board, put your finger on the key and as soon as you see the light, press the key. ओके, सो यहाँ पे बहुत माइन्यूट सा डिफरेंस आ रहा है, दैट इज दी फोकस शुड बी ऑन दी की. सो यहाँ पे हमने पहले से ही सब्जेक्ट को कह दिया है, बी रेडी विद योर फिंगर ऑन द की एंड प्रेस द की व्हेन यू सी दी लाइट. ओके, तो सेंसोरियल में आप समझ पा रहे हैं कि वहाँ पे focus is on the light, is focus on the stimulus, and यहाँ पे muscular में the focus is on the key and the subject is supposed to press the key when he sees the light. Similarly जो हमारा same process था sensorial और natural के लिए, वही same process हमने follow किया है मस्कुलर के लिए भी, और इसमें भी हमने 20 ट्रायल्स ली हैं और सब्जेक्ट के पेंडुलम के ऑसिलेशंस काउंट किए हैं और उसके ऑसिलेशंस को ऑब्जर्वेशन टेबल में नोट किया है. ओके. Chronoscope is based on three principles. First is constant speed control. Second one, a calibrated scale of times. And the third one is an instantaneous stopping and starting control. A constant a constant time control is furnished by utilizing the pendulum principle of simple harmonic motion. Since the time per swing is proportional to the length of the suspension string, it is possible to vary the time per swing at will by lengthening or shortening the string. So it is very important to understand that the chronoscope, the vernier chronoscope that we are using in this experiment, works on the principle of simple harmonic motion. Okay, so as it works on the simple harmonic motion, the very underlining principle that it follows is that the time per swing is proportional to the length of suspension string. That means जो भी उसका per swing जितना भी time आ रहा है, it will be increased if the suspension string increase, it would decrease if the suspension string का length would decrease. Therefore it depends upon the length of the string. जो भी pendulum की string है उसकी length पे depend करता है कि हमारे per swing का time कितना ज़्यादा या कितना कम होगा. Therefore, the time can be varied by lengthening or shortening the string. Okay. The instrument consists of two pendulums, each capable of being released instantaneously by a key control. Okay, so the vernier chronoscope consists of two pendulums, and both the pendulum can be released once the key is pressed. There are two keys. Okay, one is the subject key. Subject key से ही हमारा subject का pendulum linked होता है, and the other key is experimenter's key. Experimenter's key से हमारा experimental का pendulum associated होता है. One of these pendulum is adjusted at swings 75 swings per minute. Okay, so as I have already told you, जो experimenters pendulum होता है उसकी हमने setting करी हुई है 75 oscillations per minute की. 75 oscillations means 40 upon 50 of a second per swing. That is 60 upon 75. That would give you a value of 0.80. Okay, and the other pendulum, that is the subject's pendulum, उसका हमने सेटिंग करा हुआ है 77 oscillations per minute पे. That will fetch you 39 upon 50 of a second. That is, it would be 60 upon 77, and it would give you a value of 0.78. Okay. Then comes, since each swing of the shorter one takes 150 of a second less than a swing of the longer, the two pendulums, if released simultaneously, should again beat in unison at 39th beat. Now if the shorter pendulum is released at a very short time after a long one, say upon 7 upon 50 of a second, it will catch up with a longer one at the rate of 1 upon 50. That is 40 divided by 50 minus 39 divided by 50. Okay, so इसको simply अगर हमें समझना है कि there are two pendulums, the subject's pendulum and the experimenter's pendulum. तो अगर हम subject's experimenter's pendulum की setting देखेंगे, that is 40 upon 50, जिसको हमने reduce करके we'll get the value of 0.80, and the other one is the experimenter's subject's pendulum, जिसकी setting है 39 upon 50. When we'll reduce it, we'll get the value of 0.78 per swing. Okay, so अगर हम इसको simplify करेंगे, we'll get a difference of 0.02. It is very important. This value of 0.02 in itself is very very important, because this shows the difference of the adjustment of the swings that we have made, the difference in the subject's pendulum and the experimenter's pendulum, and this very value is known as the Vernier constant. Okay, the 0.02 is in seconds. Okay, so हमने क्या किया है, this value is known as Vernier constant. Hence on the seventh swing the two pendulums will synchronize. The experimenter releases the longer pendulum at the exact instant he gives the stimulus. the subject releases the pendulum at the exact instant he reacts. Okay, the number of swings before the two pendulums again synchronize give the reaction time in 50th of a second. Usually reaction times are given in sigma or 1,000th of a second. Hence to convert 50th of a second and 1,000 of a second, we multiply number of swings by 20. Okay, so I have told you in the previous slide that the Vernier constant is 0.02 and that value is in second, but generally we have to calculate in terms of thousands. So what we'll do is when you will multiply 0.02 second into 1000, that is you will convert it into millisecond, you'll get the value of 20. Therefore what we do, will multiply the number of swings by 20. Okay, so again it is very important viva question that why we are multiplying all the swings by 20. So you must explain it that we are multiplying it by 20 because the Vernier chronoscope, the Vernier constant of the Vernier chronoscope is 0.02 seconds, and when we convert the seconds into millisecond, we'll multiply it by 1000. So 0.02 को 1000 से आप multiply करो, you'll get the value of 20. Okay, the apparatus is fitted in the method make and make method, so that when the experimenter presses his key, thus giving the stimulus and releasing the longer pendulum, and the subject also presses his key, thus reacting and releasing the shorter pendulum. The number of swings before the two pendulum again synchronize is counted by the experimenter, and this gives the reaction time of the 50th of a second. Okay, so this is the very crux of the entire reaction time experiment, कि जैसे ही सब्जेक्ट जैसे ही एक्सपेरिमेंटर अपनी की प्रेस कर रहा है, ही इज रिलीजिंग दी की, द स्ट्रिंग्स गेट रिलीज्ड, और वैसे ही आपको स्टिमुलस शो करता है बोर्ड पे. सिमिलरली जैसे ही उसको स्टिमुलस शो हो रहा है सब्जेक्ट को, ही रिलीजेस दी सब्जेक्ट्स की एंड द स्ट्रिंग गेट्स रिलीज्ड एंड सब्जेक्ट्स पेंडुलम स्टार्ट टू ऑसिलेट, एंड एक्सपेरिमेंटर काउंट्स द ऑसिलेशन ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट्स पेंडुलम. तब तक काउंट करेगा जब तक सब्जेक्ट का पेंडुलम एक्सपेरिमेंटर के पेंडुलम के साथ सिंक्रोनाइज होकर के इन यूनिसन वो ऑसिलेट ना करने लगे. जब वो साथ में ऑसिलेट करने लगेगा, वी स्टॉप दी काउंटिंग. ओके, precautions that we need to follow. The first is the arrangement of the swings as done by the experimenter was not shown to the subject. Okay, so what all manipulation that the experimenter has done, it is not to be shown or not to be told to the subject को ये नहीं बताना है कि हमने सब्जेक्ट के पेंडुलम को 77 पे सेट किया हुआ है और एक्सपेरिमेंटर के पेंडुलम को 75 पे सेट किया हुआ है. ओके, दिस इज द मैनिपुलेशन दैट द एक्सपेरिमेंटर हैज डन एंड इट इज नॉट टू बी टोल्ड टू द सब्जेक्ट. Next is the counting of the swing was done very carefully. You have to be very very vigilant, very very careful while counting the oscillations. ओके, सो हमें सब्जेक्ट के पेंडुलम को के ऑसिलेशंस को काउंट करना है, तब तक काउंट करना है जब तक वो एक्सपेरिमेंटर्स पेंडुलम के साथ इन यूनिसन ना ऑसिलेट करने लगे. बस. ओके, the observation table that we had made in this experiment, reaction time in millisecond for the three conditions. So this table is in itself very very self-explanatory. So there are three conditions: natural, sensorial, and muscular. So first of all you will note down all the oscillations कि natural में कितने oscillation हुए हैं, sensorial में कितने oscillations हुए हैं, muscular में कितने oscillations हुए हैं, और कौन से ऑसिलेशन है ये जो हमने रीडिंग्स नोट करी हैं. सब्जेक्ट के पेंडुलम ने कितने ऑसिलेशंस लिए टिल इन यूनिसन विद द एक्सपेरिमेंटर्स पेंडुलम. ओके, यहाँ पे हमने सिर्फ नंबर ऑफ ऑसिलेशंस लिख दिया तीनों कंडीशंस में. इन द नेक्स्ट कॉलम ऑसिलेशन मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 20. दिस मीन्स कि जो भी ऑसिलेशंस आए हैं उन सबको हमने 20 की वैल्यू से मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया है. ये 20 की वैल्यू कहाँ से आई है? आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू कि 0.02 सेकेंड इज द वर्नियर कांस्टेंट, और हमने उसको मिली सेकेंड में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए वी हैव मल्टीप्लाइड इट बाय 1000 एंड वी गॉट द वैल्यू ऑफ 20. सो लेट्स से नेचुरल में फर्स्ट रीडिंग में अगर हमारा ऑसिलेशन आया है 3, तो वील राइट 3 ऑसिलेशन, और फिर उसके बाद नेक्स्ट कॉलम में वील राइट 3 into 20 दैट इज 60. ओके, next is data analysis. We would be doing t-testing in this experiment. So three t-tests were done. First t-test was done between natural and sensorial, second one sensorial and muscular, third one muscular and natural. Okay, Now this is the table that shows the values of mean and t-test values of all the three conditions. It is a kind of a summary table. So this shows obtain means and t values of reaction time in three different conditions. Okay. So first is natural, sensorial, muscular. So in तीनों में क्या mean आया? You'll report the mean of all the three conditions. Then what was the t value between natural, sensorial, natural, muscular, sensorial and natural, sensorial and muscular, and muscular natural, and muscular and sen sensorial. Okay, so all the values were quoted in this table. So t test क्यों करते हैं? T test is done for determining the mean significant difference, कि क्या जो हमारा mean difference आ रहा है, it is whether it is statistically significant or not. Okay, so so this was all about this experiment, the reaction time experiment. We have discussed the theory part as well as the practical conduction part, and the what are the applications of this particular topic. Okay, so this was all about reaction time. This was all about reaction time experiment. Thank you so much.